sharing your password and the things that you need to understand if you refuse not to share your password. So I can only just advise based on that. The sole decision to share the password is basically on the couple, the people in the relationship.
But from the tech point of view, because this is a tech channel.
I'm not a tech person though. I hope you understand that. Yeah. So you will ask me technical questions because I'll be like, okay.
No, I'm not going to ask, but just a simple one.
Yeah.
I will not advise. But like now, for an elderly, experienced couple, like people that have been together like for 10 or 20 years, will you still suggest that or advise them to share? Maybe one of them comes around and asks you for your advice.
If you're asking me based on the tech industry, I would say sharing a password is not safe in technology. They'll tell you keep your password to yourself, so that when someone hacks into your system, we know who we're tracing. We know what's going on. We know what time can stream where this could be coming from. So in the tech world, as I had the development arm of Connection and Telecoms. We don't share passwords. Password is something that it's supposed to be your secret. That's why the admin will tell you, okay, this is a password we've created for you, or the HR during your onboarding. This is a password we've created for you. Feel free to change the password to what you can remember, or feel free to share the password to change the password to what is best suited for you. So in the tech world, no one will advise you to share your password because it's not safe. Yeah, in the tech world. But in a relationship base, which is obviously the title of the topic today, it's a different ball game. There are so many things involved: emotions, understanding, communication. There's a lot of things, so many things involved in sharing password when it comes to relationship. But in the tech world, I don't think it's right to share your password with anyone.
So if someone's spouse is coming from the tech background, and now start restricting like the PIN and password, how do you think the other partner would feel?
Pardon me, I didn't get that question. You said if the person is coming from a tech background
with this kind of mentality that passwords should be private, and the other person doesn't have that kind of idea, maybe feel that there's a skeleton in the cupboard.
Yeah, that's where communication comes in. What passwords are you sharing? Is it financial password? Is it password the bank? Are you guys in a business together? That's where communication comes in. Now, if someone from a tech background, tech mentality is of the opinion, I'm from a tech background, I can't share my password, and you're coming from emotional background, we're in a relationship, I should know what you're doing. That is where the conversation, like I said, communication comes in. What is the password for? What do you want to know? Now, the phones that we have now, like for example, the iPhone, they've made it possible, or Samsung, that there are passwords. You can have access to someone's phone, but there's some private thing the person wants to hold on to. You can't have access to it. It's password lock. Like WhatsApp, my WhatsApp is password lock. Some of my stuff, I think photos now are password lock. So you need to know what I could give access to my phone, but I might not give access to my WhatsApp. I might not give access to sensitive information, because I was discussing with my partner this morning, and he is in the security aspect, and I can't demand for password of his phone because he has a lot of intel, a lot of security things in there. So he can't give it to me because it's putting my own life. And so these are the things that needs to be discussed with the partner. Again, from the tech world, is a no-no because of so many insecurities, so many hacking going on. People don't advise that. But from a relationship aspect, like I said, a communication, we need to communicate if we're going to have a password. Why do you want the password? And you understand that those sort of things needs to be discussed. Yeah.
Okay. I have this couple. The man is a businessman. He's well-to-do, in short, the breadwinner of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing we were discussing last time about this same man. It was that his password, everything about him was held to him.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, He wasn't. And everything that he had, nobody can have a trace to it. So
Mm-hmm.
now that's not keeps me thinking, should we share everything we have? Password is the key, but should we share everything we have? Like you have a property over here at Abuja, you have in
Yeah.
Lagos, you have in Europe,
Yeah.
about the stuff, and then should your spouse know everything about you?
I think when it has to do with relationship, I think there should be an understanding. For example, the man cannot share his password to his phone, but sensitive, essential things should be known by the partner, the bank, the businesses, the properties, so that if anything happens, then we could know where to go to. Do you understand? That's a different ball game. Sharing password, that one is a different thing entirely. But if it's password, again, the man might say, I can't share this password because I trust my wife, but my wife might trust somebody who is not really trustworthy, and the person could go and do that. That happens. That happens a lot. Now, that is where you need to have a sort of these days there are 3-layer securities when you're logging into something. They can ask you your mother's name, your maiden's name, and so. So you should have those things in place. So if your mother is if your wife jokingly tells the password to someone and he goes in, there are 2-layer security. He can't go you can't go up to the first, second one, the next one to really get in. So that should be in place, just in case information sleeps. They don't have the full information to access what they want. It's just between you, because I don't think your wife or your husband would be stupid to tell a stranger or somebody else, okay, the layer 1 password is A, the layer 2 password is C. I don't think anybody would be that stupid. I don't think so. Anybody that's stupid to give those full information about a password. So, but it's good to give it to your wife, just in case in case the person is not around. Then secondly, there's so many things put in place now legally. There's so many things put in place legally for these things to be stored. There's, for all this information to be stored legally, just in case. Like Facebook, they'll tell you, for example, there's this feature on Facebook. If someone dies, who do you want to have access to your information on your phone? So you can put that. The person might not know. If you want to put, the person might not know, but you put that. So when the person goes off to the other side, Facebook contacts the other person. You know what? You are the next person. You are the person. A, B, and C said should have access to this information. So there is way around it. If you want to protect the future, there are always way around, password protection and all that. Yeah.
Not so much about tech, but you say you're not from a tech background.
I think it's because like I said, I heard, obviously, Connect Telecom. So I heard that they're actually producing. We're rolling out a product called CNX 247, the first ERP system built in Africa, a comprehensive ERP system with all the features: project management, procurement, logistics, accounts, complete CRM. It has video conferencing calls. So we're rolling out in 2 weeks. So that had really exposed me to so many things about tech. So I'm learning on the job.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, now I want to visit this video, a Fall from Grace by
Yes.
Perry.
Tyler Perry, yes. Nice movie.
So Grace, with the whole trust he had on the husband, he lost everything, both her job, her future. So if someone like Grace, let me assume you're in Grace's shoe and you're entering another relationship, will you still share your password or your?
Firstly, I won't be in Grace's shoes because I know so much about keeping some information to myself. I've had experience, and I'm having more experience, as we go. So I would not be in Grace's shoe. However, if I happen to be in Grace's shoe, I don't think I would. I don't think I would share much information at the earliest stage, because if you remember that movie, she fell very easily, and one of the reasons why she fell easily is because it's been a long time. She's been in a relationship. She dedicated her life to 2 things: her job and her son. So for this young guy or smooth talker to come and talk to her was easy for her to fall. Number 2, there was an inside job. The lady, the son of the mother of the boy who she fell for was her friend. So you remember, she knew everything about her. That brings me to, no one can really attack you if they don't have the inside information. And that is why it's always good to guard yourself. That is why it's always good to keep some information to yourself. You can be free with friends, but there are some things that you should keep to yourself, to your son, to your children, to just the family there. I'm not saying you shouldn't trust. You can trust friends. You can trust friends, but that taught me a lesson, to be honest. It's not everything I should tell my friend. It's not everything I should tell my daughters. It's not everything I should tell everybody. Something you should, sometimes the best secret, keep them to yourself. Have a record. Because if you do that, if Grace had done that, because, when she met the guy, who did she run to? The lady. So the lady knew how much she's worth. The lady knew how much she's got. So it brings us to trust issues. It brings us to open up about yourself. It's another topic entirely. If we go into that, it's a huge topic. You can't just open up to anybody. Even if you know the boss for 40 years, sometimes keep some things to yourself. So, yeah. So, with Grace, if Grace finds love, would you encourage her to share her details? I would encourage her to share the things that are important at the moment. It's a gradual process, because remember, she shared everything at once. It's a gradual process. Test her. No. Okay, I have 5 million naira. How is she reacting to the 5 million naira you just told that you have, or how is he reacting? Is he telling you, okay, can we invest in this? What can we do? Or is she telling you, because some partners, maybe you tell them I have this money. That's when they want to buy shoes. That's when they remember there's something they want to do. Those are signs for you to know, okay, who is this person? Is this person here because of the money? But if you tell someone I have 5 million and the person, okay, what do we do to increase this 5 million to 10 million to 15 million? That is someone you should highly open to. Still have your guard, but open to that person. Open up to that person, sorry. Yeah. Hello? I can't hear you. There's no voice. Hello?
Right now.
Pardon? I can hear you now, yeah.
It's more or less like we're in a counseling session.
That's why I don't like doing these talks, because I forget myself when I start speaking, talking, coaching, counseling, and I just go, because when you've had this experience and all that, it just comes from the heart. So yeah, sorry about that.
I'm into lifestyle. I would have even invited you more to talk more on this.
That's fine.
Okay, then I think finally, all the other guests, they are signaling, but with our setting, I don't think we can take them again. I think we'll have to flow with what you have for us today.
Yeah, but we're live, right?
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
So now I want you to put it in this perspective. Let's come down to the African tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have your spouse, you have your family. Then how can you handle these details, your password and PIN? Like, some people they trust their children more than their spouse. But when you find a friend in such situation, how do you advise the person to put everything the same level, instead of depending on the son or daughter who might maybe in the future will have his own family and might take everything, and maybe your spouse will lose out?
You want me to be honest with you? Very honest?
Sure.
There is no marriage in that marriage. There's no relationship in that relationship. It's simple. Because you can't trust your partner. You can't trust your husband, your wife, the person you're sharing life to. Some people are not married, but they're partners. They're sharing life, more like married. If you can't trust that person, what are you doing there? Because where there's no trust, that's where you see things like sharing password with only the son. Again, if it's, for example, is details of banks that you're sharing with your son, there could be some, or your daughter, not your wife or your husband. There could be reasons. Reasons one could be the other person is not a good manager of money. So before I would advise, from the beginning I said, I would not advise you to give or not to give. I need to understand why. What's your reason you don't want to give? What's your reason you want to give this password? Maybe the other person, it's not a good manager of money. I've seen couples who are not good. I've seen couples who are not good managers of money. Who the husband is not a good manager of money. I know one. She makes money, they all make money. Next thing he blows it up, gives it away, sometimes spends it on other people, just wastes money. And the family goes back to suffering again till the end of the month when he gets his salary. So what the wife did, she became the one in charge. There was an agreement between both of them. She became the one in charge of the finances. The money gets paid to her salary, to her, her salary, her own salary account. It gets paid to her. He gives, they both had an agreement until they get with managing money. He had to go to school, not necessarily school, he had to go to all those courses, he had to learn things on resilience, on how to hold himself, discipline, for him to be able to manage money. So why are you not giving your spouse the password to your financial records or accounts? That is the first question I would ask. It's from the answers of those questions that I'll now tell you, do this and do A. It's not a straightforward answer. We need to know the why. Because I want to treat it with you can't treat a problem without knowing the source of the problem. And that source is the why. Most people don't know the why. They just want to know this is how you should do it, the solution. We need to know the why before we can profess a solution or antibiotics that's going to treat the problem. We need to know why. So I can't say give password or give. I need to know why don't you trust your wife? Why don't you trust your husband? Then from there we can have a solution to it.
Okay. For me, from the tech background, I don't think I can.
Yeah.
I would advise anyone to share a password, no matter how, because just like what you said earlier, your spouse might be the most trusted person, but somebody that wants to get at you can go through your spouse.
Yeah, but you could have layers of security. You could have layers of security towards. You could have layers of security. Where were you born? Something that is between. I think it's always good to have something that is between just the both of you, the partners. Something that somebody else would not know. You understand? That way, then a message or a text message should be sent. You know how they do, because the tech has really improved now. Send you a text message. What's it called? Is it OTP? What's it called? OTP. They send that to you. So when you see that coming, oh God, you now call the partner. What's going on? Someone is trying to make a withdrawal. Are you the one? You're not the one. So all those things could be in place. Again, you ask a question in an African setting. Or in a family setting, would I share my password? I don't know until I know what the password is that you need. If it's social media password, for example, let's bring it to the main thing that really, social, because when I shared things, sharing passwords, a lot of people are talking about social media. And that's where everybody's mind goes to these days. Let's talk about social media. If I'm sharing my password on social media, that means I'm confident enough to that there's nothing hidden. There's nothing hidden going on in my inbox or in my DMs. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. So my partner understands, okay, there's nothing going on. That's basic. There's nothing social media. That's basic. But if we're talking about things like laptop where you work, you don't expect, like I used to, when I was doing contracts here, and I do bank contracts when I was a PMI analyst, do bank contracts. But they give us our laptop to work. You don't expect me to share the company's laptop password to you. You understand? I think we have someone joined in. Yeah. Your audio is muted, Jonathan. Your audio is muted, Jonathan.
Okay, we'll have Better from Canada. Okay, Better, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Sorry for coming in late.
Good morning.
You almost ruined this.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Madam was speaking earlier. Please, can you just finish?
Yeah, so I was saying, I can't remember I lost my thoughts, but my line of thoughts. I was saying that, you don't expect someone who's working in, for instance, like I was giving an example of myself when I was in contract jobs here, and they'll give you a laptop. The bank is a bank. They'll give you their own laptop to work with. You don't expect me to share the password of that laptop to my spouse. That's my work laptop. The informations there are for my work. When I was getting the job, I wasn't signing the job as Mr. and Mrs. who I was dating or Mr. and Mrs. who I'm married to. So you don't expect me to share my password. So there should be an understanding between the partners when it comes to, passwords. What are you sharing the password for? What is it for? It is what is for that will determine if I should share the password with you or not.
Better, that's what Lauretta said. I hope you are following us when you are offline.
Your audio can't hear you too well. You said?
Okay, what she's saying is that you can share, but not everything. Do you agree with that?
You can share your password.
It depends on what you're sharing. It depends on what exactly you're sharing. That's what I said. Not that it depends. I need to know what you want to share. If you're sharing a password of social media, that's a different ballgame. If you're sharing a password of a financials, that's a different ballgame. So we need to understand what exactly.
Okay, the password. Okay, let's be specific right here. The password or PIN to your bank details.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought it was for the password to your bank details. Again, is your partner a good manager of money? You need to understand that. I've told you I've seen a situation where the wife is not a good manager of money, the husband is not a good manager of money, and they put in money into a joint account to a password and the money goes. He hasn't goes spent. So again, is the partner a good manager of money? I think this has to do with a discussion. Security-wise, there are a lot of security layers that before someone can hack into your account, you would be notified. The tech world of now makes it easier. If someone was logging into your account, and I remember when I went to Nigeria, I was trying to make a transfer, and my HSB sent me a message that somewhere from my location is trying to log into my account. Am I the one? I had to reply, and they said, okay, does that mean security questions to answer? And nobody else knows the security question apart from me. So you understand. So I think there are a lot of layers of security that the tech world now puts in place. They're not perfect, but to an extent.
Do you agree with her?
Yeah. Yes, to a point. I think I agree with her. Before you can share passwords, especially to critical areas of probably your system or your bank details or whatever, it is very important to understand your spouse and the position of your spouse in managing information. I am of the opinion that when people start dating or planning to get into a serious relationship like marriage, there are some things that they need to understand about each other from the very early stage of the relationship. I am an advocate of being free, open, and fair with your spouse when it comes to passwords. To allow your spouse to have access to basic or encrypted areas of your life freely. But at the same time, you don't just hand this key over to somebody who you know cannot well manage the information that are encrypted. So like she said, which I also agree, if your spouse is not a good manager of money, it will not be good if you allow them into the coffers where the money is. Otherwise, you want to regret that. But at the same time, I like to double a bit with this. Anyway, I know of a story where somebody will not allow their spouse to have a complete control of passwords to their bank accounts, and eventually something happened, and when they really needed funds to happen, something happened to this man. When funds were really needed, the wife could not access the funds, and never was able to access the funds until a very long time after going through some protocols and all of that. So I think we need to understand who we are dealing with, our spouse, understand them, understand what they can handle, and be able to let them in to an extent. I will come back to this. I'm going to share an idea. Somebody say, if you cannot allow them in into where the money is, at least allow them in into a place where they can at least access a bit of the money.
Yeah.
Either ways, you just need to be careful with not allowing them to have access to these funds.
Okay, I think you are standing with what Lauretta said. Talked about double layers or multiple layers. I hope I'm correct, Lauretta.
Talked about what? Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
No, she talked about double layer, that having multiple layers to the main thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Lauretta, I hope I'm correct.
Yeah, not necessarily that. What he's saying is, if you can't, I think what Mr. Bachar is saying, I think I got the name right. So Emmanuel is saying that if you can't have access, if you can't let her or him have access to the money itself, they should be able to sort of get close to it. So I think in a sense, maybe you could give a note to your bank, for example, in case of emergency, my wife should have access to between 5 to 10 million. I know I have a couple in Nigeria. The husband, that reminds me, the husband, because he's always going to the kidnapping zone, high kidnapping zone area. He put to the bank, have an agreement to the bank. In case I get kidnapped, my wife comes, any amount she wants at that point should be given to her for my release. So, I think people are coming up with different ways of putting things in place in case of things like this happen when it comes to them. When people are coming up with different ideas of how to be safe at least.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask you this, Emmanuel. What's your advice or suggestion to young people coming together for the first time, or like entering into relationship?
I wish I can hear you clearly. Your
voice come close to your system.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Better, I think, yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying is this. What would be your advice to a couple? Like, if one of the spouse comes to you for an advice, what would be your advice to them?
All right. Now, when it comes to password, I believe that it goes beyond bank accounts and other money accounts or gold mines and all of that. There are different passwords. Things can be password. Your system in the house, your phone, maybe a lock of a safe in the house or some. There are many passwords apart from bank passwords. I came in a bit late, so I didn't follow the discussion from the very beginning. But then, apart from money, passwords to where money is, where jewelry is, and all of that, I believe that spouses should be open to their mates, to their partners when it comes to their phones, when it comes to their systems, things around them. So I will advise any couple that come to me or any spouse that come to me, so should I allow my wife to have access to probably my phone password and all of that? My response to that person would be yes, they need to have an access. And when it comes to marriage, it should be open. It shouldn't be a secret. Nothing should be a secret between two people who are committed to each other in marriage. So allow your spouse access to your phone, allow your spouse access to some critical areas in your house, in the family, that you think in the case of eventuality, they should be able to easily and quickly have access to this without any issue. So that would be my advice to any couple who come to me.
Finally, we have this. I have a question. How would you advise a lady who hid her assets from her husband of many years? Then situation happened and she had no choice than to divulge her password to hubby. And hubby is reacting negatively. I don't know whether you get that.
No, your speaker, your microphone is not doing justice.
Okay. How would you advise a lady who hid her assets from her husband for many years, and situation happens, and now she starts releasing everything she has to the hubby, and the husband starts reacting negatively? So what would you be your advice?
It's a question for me.
I think he said the wife have been hiding her assets for many years, and then something happened to her. So she started releasing everything to the husband. The husband started reacting negatively.
What will happen to...
Okay.
Lauretta, can you get that?
Yeah, I got the question. So who is the question directed to me or to Mr. Emmanuel?
It's on the chat, but I don't know. But any of you can pick it.
Okay, if you had that correctly, go ahead and answer, because I didn't get the question correctly.
Okay,
Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, the question says, how do I advise a lady who hid her properties, her assets for a while, then something happened and she said, first and first, like I said, I like going back to the roots of when they started, the understanding they had before I would judge. Now, if she hid it because she feels what she has is her own and what her husband has is her own, then I think there's a problem there, because if the man has been gladly sharing what he has with you and you're hiding yours, I think there's a problem. I think the trust issues there, and we should treat that trust issue first. And I want to know, why don't you trust this man? We should understand your whys, or why you don't trust this man. It could be a mentality she got from her family. It could be a mentality from her past experience, you understand, of dealing with men. So we need to understand that before we can give the advice of what you should do further. But what I'll just tell the man is, for now, if she's giving you the passwords for now, details for now, appreciate that. But again, have counseling, understand her whys. Was it something that you did, or something that is it something that, is it a luggage, or that she's still carrying from her past experience into a new relationship? Yeah, I think that's the first thing I'm not someone that gives advice immediately. I like to know your whys and your do's. It's from your whys and whats that you can give an advice on. Yeah, that's my own opinion on this.
Okay. Emmanuel, what do you have to say on that?
She hid her asset from the husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then something happened to her or to the man.
To her. Yes.
And then the man never get to know about that asset. Is that the question?
No. What's your
advice? Yes, you find out now.
Oh, the man eventually found out that the wife has been hiding something from him.
No, she voluntarily gave the information up because something happened to her. So she needed him to have access to the information.
Oh. What will I advise
the different scenario, yeah, to the normal one.
So what will I advise the man?
Woman, the advice, I think it's a woman that wants the advice. What would you advise the woman?
Well, it's not a proper thing. You know, sometimes I imagine how people get to meet themselves and make the decision to actually come together as husband and wife. If we look at the foundation of marriage, it's supposed to be a no secrets affair. If a man and a woman can come together and agree to get married to the extent of seeing both of their nakedness, what else is there to hide? Anyone hiding anything from the other is not doing the relationship any good. So if I am to advise that lady, it's not a healthy thing to do. You have to do your best to be as open as you can to your husband. Now in this situation that something happened and you have opened up to him and say, okay, you know what? I've been hiding this 10 million naira in another account that you don't know about. Now that we need it, here it is. Well, the man can accept the money because the problem needs to be met, but going forward, it's not gonna be too smooth between them, because if she can hide that kind of information from him and now he's bringing it out, it simply means that she can hide anything. So I would advise anyone who is doing that right now to please get into a meeting, call your spouse and say, you know what, I've been hiding this from you, but I'm sorry, now I know better. And then trash that up, because it's not healthy for any relationship. It's not healthy for any man.
Well, I tend to disagree with you, because I know in this generation, though maybe you are talking about, you are making your own reference with the past generation. But like modern generation, no matter how close, like you can even see, like, let me say, in the life of known people or celebrities, you see that even when they want to marry or when they want to join into a serious relationship, they define it, their lawyers define everything. So their law is to an extent. So
yeah, but that's different. That's different, Jonathan, because they define the things they're not hiding things they own. In this case, they're not hiding their properties. The woman knows the properties, or the man knows the properties the celebrity has. Exactly. But he's just saying that yes, you're no longer together, you do not have
access to this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a different scenario, sort of.
Where's the love now? Where's the love?
I don't think that means there's no love. Haven't you seen where love turns to hate? I don't think that means there's no love. I just mean it's just for us to protect our future heartbreak. I don't know. I'm from a different...
it is what it is, to actually protect their future and protect what you have, because a lot of people get into marriage with all the love, and all of a sudden somewhere, somehow, love gets soured and everybody wants to be on your own. So in the case of trying to sign these agreements and this marriage stuff, you are just saying, in case if anything happens along the way in this journey, you don't have access to this. This does not concern you. So it is not hiding. It's not hiding anything, because he already knows, well, this person has this or has that. So I only don't have access to it if anything happens to the marriage. So it's a different ballgame.
And I think it's even good, because it helps you understand, okay, I'm dating this person, not because of what I'm going to get anything happens. I'm dating this person because I truly want to be with this person. So I think it's sort of, I don't know. That's my opinion, though.
Thanks very much, Lauretta and Emmanuel, for being part of this discussion on my YouTube channel. So if you have enjoyed this program to this extent, please just give it a like. And also subscribe if you want to see these same people some other time in the future. So Lauretta, just give us a parting shot, just one word to wrap up everything.
One word. It's okay to share your passwords, but you should have an understanding of what passwords you're sharing. You should have a clear communication of why you're not sharing password. Like I told you, my partner is into security. I don't expect him to share his password with me, because some things I might see and my life might be in danger. So all those things has to be defined. What are you saying? What are you having? And like Mr. Emmanuel said, there shouldn't be any secret in relationship. Again, it depends on the understanding that you guys have. So I always go back to have an understanding from the foundation, because where the problem always starts is from the start. Ask questions, understand what you're getting into. And
Okay, Emmanuel, the last one.
My last word is for spouses. If you are married to someone who loves you so much to share their passwords with you, please maintain decorum when you come to having access to those. Don't just jump into people's things and start looking around.
Yeah.
If somebody can give you that honor of giving you a password to an encrypted part of their life, please hallow that password and don't mess up with it. That's my advice.
Thank you very much, Lauretta and Emmanuel. I appreciate your time coming around and sharing your time with my subscribers. So we have had it all from these two wonderful personalities. And there's no better way to explain it. Like I've been discussing or talking about computer passwords, especially like in our at home, we just like each family has a central computer, and most times we open our emails and those things that we think that are not sensitive to our family members. But I still advise that your password should be your secret, and if you share your secret, it's no longer a secret. So thank you everyone. Thank you viewers for your time. We'll be signing out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Right.